This episode is brought to you by Awaken Your Wild Woman, a guided journey to reclaim your intuition, creativity, and sovereign soul. Whether you're at the beginning of a new chapter or deep in transformation, this book meets you where you are. If you've been feeling a pull to go deeper between the episodes, Awaken Your Wild Woman is waiting for you. You can find the link in the show notes below or go to my website at sarahdiop.com. You're listening to The Wild Woman with Sarah Diop. Remembering your wild, one episode at a time. Today on the Wild Woman Spotlight, we have Edith Wolek from Emperor's Media. Hi, Edith. Thanks for being on our show.
Hello, Sarah. Thank you so much for having me. What an honor to be on this podcast, speaking with you about such important topics, especially women in leadership and supporting each other. Having that opportunity to expand and learn about each other. As you are aware, we have a Women of an Expansion and Impact group. Is an international group that is super powerful, that inspires so many women, especially mothers and especially entrepreneurs who needing support, wanting expansion, wanting that next step. So thank you so much for having me. Quickly, I will introduce myself if you don't mind. I am a founder and CEO of Emperor's Media, as you said. It's a brand leadership coaching and creative services company. And I'm a publisher of Courage Magazine Global, which is a magazine for women entrepreneurs to spread the awareness of their business and sharing what steps they overcame during creation of their business. I'm also Amazon best-selling co-author of Taking a Leap. I help entrepreneurs create humanity-centered personal brands. I've been in business of branding as a marketing specialist for over 26 years. I'm supporting women who want to step into their power and courage to create humanity-centered brands that support and creates bigger impact in this world. I'm also a transformational leadership trainer and coach and mentor. I can support them creating bigger goals, not only in their business, but also relationships, because it's all connected. And I'm a mother of 3. So I have 2 adult children and 1 teenager. I adore them, love them to bits. And I've been married for the last 26 years. So it's been a journey, changing different countries, moving from one continent to another. We come out stronger. We learn so many different new things when we change our environments. We learn more about the culture and the people all around us.
That's so great. Yes. So listeners, I was introduced to Edith because, like she mentioned, there's an international women's WhatsApp group, and it's called Women of Expansion and Impact. And it's a networking group for women entrepreneurs, like-minded women. And someone invited me to her group. I just think it's an amazing group. It's so supportive. Everyone's supporting each other, telling everybody what they're up to and what they're doing. And I invited other people as well to the group that I thought would benefit the group as well. But I think what makes your group really special, too, is that you feel really supported, but you also feel inspired to keep on going. And as you know, as an entrepreneur, sometimes you just feel unmotivated. Sometimes you just really need to push yourself, and seeing other women doing their things and then putting something that I'm doing on there, immediately other women are like cheering me on. If I need advice or help, there's a forum there. You also have these mingle events. And this will be the first one I'll be able to go to today. So I'm excited about that. Why I think you're a perfect spotlight for our podcast is because I think that really is the essence of this wild woman archetype, is women living authentically. You're helping people, especially with personal branding. Like, how do you show people who you are? And I think a lot of times women have, unfortunately, we make ourselves small because of society. And I think we were when we were younger. That's the whole point of this whole Wild Women podcast for me, is that we were kind of taught to shrink to fit. I think more and more of us are like, no, we need to expand. We need to be visible. People like you support women in being able to be seen, projecting their messages. So I really want to thank you for being on the show. I think you're an inspiration. Women need other women to not only support them, but inspire them. And sometimes we just don't know the tools. When I reached out to you, you mentioned something you have going on right now that women listeners, if they're interested, could join. Could you tell me a little bit about your master class that you're putting out? Because maybe some of our listeners might be interested in that.
Yeah, of course. Before I let you know about what I'm up to and what I've created, I will tell you a backstory about where I was 15, 20 years ago. As a young mother, I wanted to create a business. I didn't know where to start. I didn't know who to ask for support. I didn't know how to create business. I didn't know the tools. I didn't know who to ask, how to ask for support. Rolling back, and after my experience of my career and my business developed, I put myself through leadership training. I realized, oh my goodness, it's all within me. I have now the tools to support other women because I've created for myself a career. I've created my business and I overcame my limiting beliefs for the last 5 years. Now I am ready to start supporting other women because I had a lifetime fear of public speaking. I could not open my mouth in a room of 20 people and speak to them openly because I was so afraid to say something wrong. I was petrified for somebody to correct me or reject my opinion. I would clench my jaws so hard to sabotage myself and not allow any voice out of me because I was afraid of judgment. I was afraid of being rejected and all of those things. So the last 5 years I spent overcoming those limitations. I put myself on stages. I put myself through Toastmasters. I became a vice president of Toastmasters. Slowly, that confidence built up to help me overcome my limitations, overcome my public speaking fear. Now I've been ready to support other people to start shouting about their business, being visible. And we all have some kind of limitations that are keeping us stuck. Going back to what I have to offer is I have a program. It's a 12-week program called She Leads, and it's about brand mastery. Many women divide business and me. Business is something else, and I am my own person. And as a personal brand, we get to be connected. We get to be aligned. So everything that you are, everything who you are being, gets to be translated into your business. Your personality is your business. We go through week by week, aligning your business, adding your mission, your vision, your proposition, and showcasing the value that you already have to attract the clients that you truly want. You want to have people just like you being attracted to your offer, wanting more information, wanting impact, wanting to support others. So you want to support them so they can support many more people. So that's what is the program about. Not only is it training, it's also support with all the engineering, all the graphics, connection and alignment with all parts of your business. So it's a powerful tool to have a aligned brand in those 12 weeks. You know, how easy that would be if 20 years ago somebody would tell me, oh, I have this for you. In 12 weeks, you can start your business. You can start generating aligned clients. I would be in awe. I would be so grateful for that support. So that's why I am offering that. We will support with the link. They can connect with me and we will have a chat and find out what is the reason your business is not moving. What is in the gap of where you are now and where you want to be. If somebody already has a running business, but they are stuck, they feel overwhelmed, or they feel that they cannot pass this limit, I can support that person to get to the next level of their business. So it's not only for people who are starting business, but it's also for those who they want to create a bigger goal.
So I will put the link in the show notes below. The link will lead to booking a 20-minute consultation with you, which I think is really great because then they actually get to speak to you and find out if it's a good fit for them and find out exactly what their issue is to see if it aligns. So anyone that's interested can just go there and book a 20-minute consultation with you. But I think that you're right. I think that a lot of times women compartmentalize. How do you say that?
Compartmentalized. Yeah, I said it the same way.
I'm saying it wrong. I'm for sure.
Yeah, we put it in pigeonholes. We put them in separate different areas.
Categories.
Oh, this is, categories, all different.
Yeah, I'm a mother and that's this. I'm a business person here. I'm a friend here. Just remember when I was in the corporate world, they knew I was a mother, but don't mention it. That's one of the things I have on my website. So many times people ask me what I am. Like, well, what do you do? It's all about doing instead of being. So one of the things I did on my website was I am, and then put all these things, and I ended with I'm a wild woman, meaning like I'm a mother, I'm a entrepreneurial strategist, I'm a podcaster. Every woman is so many things. And I think it's really great to brand whatever business you're doing with your whole self. You know, I'm also a holistic nutritionist. With holistic nutrition, it's about everything. It's not just like what you eat, but it's like exercise and mental health. It's the whole body. And I think that doing a brand that aligns with who you are as a person and your personality, but also your business, because they're not actually separate. None of it's separate. It's who you are. I honestly think most of us now, especially people in midlife like me, I think we're just craving authenticity. You know, with all this AI and all this, you just want someone who is a person and real, and this is what they do, and it's all connected. I think that offering is amazing. Personally, I've done a lot of startups, had a lot of different businesses in my life, helped other people's startups. I think that those are the two demographics that really do need help. The people who are launching and don't know how to even begin. But some people are really great at launching, and you get a plateau after you first launch because you get a spike, and then a lot of people don't know what to do after that. So I think any women that are listening that are entrepreneurs or trying to brand themselves or integrate what they do with who they are, this course would be perfect for them.
Yeah, and if you're not sure what's the best way is to find out, is it for me? Let me get some more information and find out a little bit more. So I would love to support somebody, and if it's not, then that's perfectly fine. I also offer 90-minute brand impact mastery, which is a separate offer, but that would just align the first step, give you clarity of am I aligned or I'm not aligned. There are so many powerful questions in that. So if you choose not to participate in the 12-week program, the 90 minutes is a quick win, so I can support with that as well.
When I think about what you're offering and what you're talking about, it's just having someone to bounce your ideas off of. That's why I also think your networking group's great, because sometimes you just need to have a soundboard for what you're doing and speaking it out loud rather than just having, especially as an entrepreneur, I'm constantly bouncing ideas off my head. Are all of them great? No. But having another woman to be like, hey, does this sound crazy or seem like a reasonable thing to do. It just helps you like sort out what you actually want. I had a friend, she just launched something. She does seminars for educating on women's rights and equality and that kind of thing. And she's recently going off on her own. She worked for an NGO before. And eventually she got to what her actual objective is, like what she wants to accomplish. You know, there was lots of little things that she was talking about and she's kind of spinning in the big picture and whatever. And finally just getting to what, in essence, makes you feel this is something that is part of me, like something I really want. This is a value, not just, oh, this is my business. Like, this is my value and this is how it translates. That's why I want to do what I do. So then it made it so easy how we're going to streamline her business to that value, right? So I think just having other women to discuss and women supporting women, just so you have someone, and if you don't have someone in your life you can bounce these kind of ideas off of, then definitely getting in touch with you would be helpful.
Yeah, it is very important to bounce ideas of each other, and yes, you don't need to take all of the ideas on board. It's great to hear somebody else's opinion. In many cases, not only in business, but like, oh, let me tell you what my husband did. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
It's beautiful, and women have such a different way of communicating with each other, and we are more open when we are in a circle of like-minded people. We are more open and we ask different questions and we ask for support. I believe as women, we would not open up to any man in the room, say like, oh, can you help me with this? But with women, I feel like yes, I can jump in and ask, oh, can you help me with this? Because there's no shame, no guilt around asking for support. But for some reason, some women might be more protected of how they look to the other gender. I feel like in female-only environment, women connect on a different level.
Yeah, I would agree with you. There is studies that show that women feel in the workplace that they have to do more to maintain an equal footing with their male counterparts. Yeah, I can see that because I think that our shields go down when it's just women in the room. I had a distribution company and everyone who worked in the office were all women. And it just made it, everyone was working to help each other. That was the first environment I had where it was all women before I worked with mostly men. And it's true. It just feels different. I don't know if that's everywhere, but.
And we love our men, don't we? Like, I have 3 men in my life, just in my house. It's just the way of communicating. The same, I had a story that happened, 15 years ago. There was an alpha male in the director's room. We were all sitting around. It was a usual marketing meeting. He came and he put his arms behind him like this, and he was bouncing on the chair in front of everybody for like half an hour. Because as we know, more space we take, it represents power. It represents, look at me, I'm alpha male. That's what he was doing by his posture. I've never seen a woman going like that or spreading her wings or spreading herself on the chair. Never. We tend to be tight and put our leg over leg and maybe put computer and things like that on the massive table, but that's about it. So how much more power he was showcasing that he has over everybody else in that matter.
Definitely. Yeah, we read somewhere on my other podcast, one of the girls was saying women are supposed to stand like, the Superman stance, but women don't naturally do that. Yeah, it's like being small, so then we don't get heard. There was a really great quote from Lindy West. She was talking about if you shrink yourself and you're small, then people can dismiss your voice.
Yeah.
And I think that body language of that alpha male means he knows he has the power in the room. And if the same scenario happened, even with a CEO or alpha female, people would think she was being arrogant or aggressive. She wasn't owning the room. It would be perceived differently.
Much different.
Their male counterpart, for sure. I have 2 daughters, so I hope in the future that things feel like we're starting to get there, but yeah, it's very persistent, the social norms of the patriarchy. Sure.
Yeah, we get to keep going. We get to empower the younger generation to continue the work that we started.
Definitely.
Because I don't remember any movements as much as happening now. I don't remember any more movement in the 80s as a teenager. Only recently, the last 10 years, we are hearing more and more women stepping up.
And talking against what is necessary. I think our generation is being the most honest about everything because we're sold we can have it all when we were kids. And then as we went through, now that we're later in our careers, we're more vocal about it. Not like our mother's generation, which are just happy that they're at the table. We want to be our hands behind our back, we want that. Yeah. So this is last thoughts. If there's anything else you want to add?
Keep going. Keep asking for support. We don't want to see women hiding anymore, especially those who want to share their passions, but they don't know how. They don't know where to start. We want them to reach out and connect with us so we can at least have a conversation. And if we can support them, I know so many women ready to jump in to support for free, for nothing. There is so much generosity happening around female circles. So I would love to invite anyone who is lost or feel that they want to do something. They have an idea, but they don't know how to start. They don't know how to take it to the next level. So I would love to invite anyone who is in that position to reach out and get support.
Wonderful. So, listeners, if you're interested in the Brand Impact Mastery Program, the 12-week program that Edith's doing, I'll put the link in the show notes below, and you can have a 20-minute consultation to see if that's a good fit for you. I will also put, because you mentioned that 90-minute program too, if you can send that to me, I'll put that in the show notes, and your book. I'll put all the details about Edith in the show notes. And then you can always find Edith's information on my website, sarahdiop.com. If you go there, you can go to The Wild Woman, and then I have all the podcast guests on there too, if you don't want to go to the show notes. Well, great. Thank you so much for being on the show. I really appreciate it. I hope other women out there find their circles and their support, if it's not specifically for branding or what they're doing in their lives, but just for support.
Yes, definitely. If anybody wants to connect with yourself or myself about International Women's Circle, which is called now Women of Expansion and Impact, please reach out to us and we might be able to support you to jump in and be the panelist.
That'd be great, yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Really appreciate your time and what you're doing and supporting others. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks so much, Edith.
If you'd like to learn more about today's Wild Women Spotlight guests, you'll find their details in the show notes below. And if you're ready to dive even deeper, head over to my website, sarahdiop.com, and then visit the Wild Women page. There you can explore everything the page has to offer, including a dedicated space for all my Spotlight guests, with links to connect to them on social media and explore their products and services. Thank you for listening to The Wild Woman with Sarah Diop. Remembering your wild, one episode at a time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and review. Every little bit helps. And I'll see you next time.